August first often feels like the month when you can finally start easing off in the garden. Tomatoes are producing, cucumbers are still giving a harvest, some beds are opening up, and it feels like the major decisions of the season have already been made. But right now, several things are happening that are very easy to miss. And some of them can affect not only your fall harvest, but also the problems you may face next spring. We'll go through 5 important tasks worth doing in August, and they are not all equally urgent. At the end, I'll rank them by importance, and the task that ends up near the top of the list may seem completely optional at first. Let's start with something that, in August, is usually lying literally right under our feet. Pick up fallen and damaged fruit. By the end of summer, overripe, damaged, or simply fallen fruit often collects under tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, zucchini, melons, and fruit trees. 1 or 2 may seem insignificant, but within a few weeks, that small detail can turn into a problem. First, there are dozens or even hundreds of seeds inside. Some of them will survive the winter and germinate in spring exactly where you do not want those plants growing. Volunteer plants can sometimes be a nice bonus. But if dozens of seedlings appear when you only wanted 2 tomato plants, most of them become weeds. And yet, the seeds are not the main reason for cleaning them up. Damaged fruit and plant debris can harbor some disease-causing organisms in the garden, and they can also attract insects, slugs, and other pests. That's why end-of-season garden sanitation is one of the simplest ways to reduce the amount of material where problems can survive until next year. But this raises a logical question. If the fruit is organic anyway, why not simply throw it into the compost? If it is healthy, you can. But fruit and leaves showing obvious signs of disease are better kept out of a regular cold compost pile, unless you are sure it reaches temperatures high enough to destroy many pathogens and seeds. In that case, it is more sensible to remove that material from the property according to local regulations. And once the ground is cleared of fallen fruit, the next problem becomes much easier to see. Old plants. 2. Remove old plants, but don't leave bare soil behind. An old cucumber plant that has almost stopped producing, or cabbage that has been badly damaged by caterpillars, is unlikely to provide much benefit anymore. But dense old foliage can hold moisture, reduce airflow, and become a hiding place for pests. But there is one detail that many gardeners do the opposite way. Not every old plant needs to be pulled out together with its roots. If the plant is not affected by a serious soil-borne disease, you can cut it off close to the soil surface. The roots will remain in the ground, gradually decompose, and disturb the soil structure less than aggressively pulling out the entire root ball. So the principle is simple. Remove the problematic above-ground growth, but do not disturb healthy roots unless necessary. But the job does not end there. After clearing a bed, many gardeners leave the soil exposed for several weeks or even until spring. And that is something you should avoid. Bare soil in August heats up and dries out faster, and after heavy rain it can develop a crust, while open space is quickly taken over by weeds. If you are going to plant here again in about a month, you can cover the surface with organic mulch. If the bed will remain unused for a longer period, compost topped with mulch, or, under suitable conditions, a cover crop can work well. Sometimes an opaque tarp is used as temporary cover. But don't assume that any piece of plastic automatically sterilizes the soil. True soil solarization requires the correct technique, enough time, and sufficiently strong sunlight. Our goal is simpler. Do not leave the bed completely unprotected. And now we move to something that may have been saving your plants during summer, but can sometimes begin working against them toward the end of the season. 3. Reevaluate your shade. During the peak of summer, shade cloth can be extremely useful. It reduces overheating and helps plants survive extreme heat. But August is not the same in every region. 40. In the southern United States, extreme heat can continue even beyond August. Farther north, nights are already getting cooler. The sun sits lower in the sky, and the days are gradually getting shorter. That's why there is no single correct date for everyone. Watch the weather and watch your plants. If intense heat continues, shade cloth may still be useful, but once temperatures begin to drop and plants receive less and less light, overly dense shading can become unnecessary. 46. Especially if new shoots become stretched, internodes grow longer, and the plants clearly begin leaning toward the brighter side. Young lettuce or cabbage seedlings, however, are a different story. Even if you are already removing the large shade cloth from mature tomato plants, a little temporary shade can still help tender fall transplants during their first few days after planting. So in August, shade cloth should not automatically be removed or automatically left in place. It needs to be reevaluated. And now, the most dangerous August mistake. It looks completely harmless. The gardener simply waits another couple of weeks. 4. Don't be late starting fall crops. When it is still hot outside, it can feel strange to think about broccoli, lettuce, carrots, beets, radishes, or turnips. It feels like there is still plenty of time. But a fall garden runs on a different clock. Plants need more than just temperatures they can tolerate. They need enough time to reach a sufficient size while there is still enough daylight and warmth for active growth. The farther the season moves toward fall, the more slowly many crops develop. That's why judging only by today's heat is a mistake. It is much more useful to know the average date of the first fall frost in your region and count backward from it. Check the days to maturity for the specific variety. Add the germination time, and then add a small buffer for slower fall growth. And this is where losing just a few weeks can truly make all the difference. Crops that tolerate transplanting well, such as many brassicas and lettuce varieties, can be started ahead of time in cell trays. Carrots, radishes, turnips, and other crops that are better suited to direct sowing can be seeded directly into the bed once conditions become suitable. If the soil is still too hot and dries out quickly, maintain even moisture, and use light temporary shade for emerging seedlings if necessary. And now the final task. It does not require a shovel, pruning shears, or a bag of mulch. But this is exactly the one most people postpone until it becomes too late. 5. Write down. What worked this season? Right now, you still remember which tomato variety was the most productive, where plants kept getting sick, which bed did not receive enough water, when you planted lettuce too early, which protection method actually stopped pests, and which one only wasted your time. In a few months, most of these details will start to blur together. So write down at least 4 things: your best varieties, successful planting dates, the main problems of the season, and the solutions that actually worked. Also note what you should change next year. Install drip irrigation, put insect netting in place earlier, space tomatoes farther apart, or stop growing a variety that performs poorly in your climate. A good garden improves not because every season goes perfectly, but because the results of the previous season are used in the next one. And now, the promised ranking. If you only have time to do one thing, I would put starting fall crops in first place. There is a real deadline here. A fallen tomato can be picked up 3 days from now, but 2 lost weeks of growth cannot be given back to a plant in October. In second place, your notes. This is exactly the task many people would probably put last, but cleanup can be done later while memory quickly erases small details. If you do not write down now why one bed produced an excellent result while another failed, it will be easy to repeat the same mistake next spring. Third place, adjusting shade. There is no need to panic, but you should keep an eye on conditions. What saved your plants in July does not necessarily remain useful at the end of August. Only after that come collecting fallen fruit and removing old plants while protecting the newly cleared soil. They are important, especially if diseases and pests are present. But in most cases, you can do them gradually, 10 to 15 minutes at a time in the evening when the heat begins to fade. And here is the main takeaway. August is not the end of the gardening season. It is a transition point. During the same month, we clean up the consequences of summer and reduce the number of problems that can carry over into next year. Protect the soil, and at the same time, start crops that will produce a harvest in fall. So instead of asking, what else is left to clean up? It is more useful to ask, what can I do now to make the next stage of the season easier? And if you complete even a few of these 5 tasks on time, you will notice the results not only this fall. Some of this August work will only reveal its value next spring, and that is exactly why now is not the time to give up on the garden.